Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand here at Master Investor. Ensure to subscribe, turn on the notifications so that we know when we go live or upload a valuable talk on money, business, and investing that can literally change our finances forever. It is all about educating ourselves financially and having a plan in place. Without a plan, we're not investing because a person that attempts to invest without a plan, that person is a trader or a gambler, and that person doesn't have an exit strategy. Most likely, that person doesn't even have control over the investment. Usually, those people give their money away to somebody else to invest it for them. Today, we're going to cover how to find a formula to be wealthy. There are many formulas to create wealth in the world. We have to pick one and remember that becoming wealthy a lot of times is mechanical, dull, and boring. We have to ensure that we understand that from the beginning because majority of people give up right when they're about to succeed. So it's all about finding a formula that best suits us, and we have to execute on that. We have to have a plan. We have to know exactly when are we going to start getting passive income, what type of business it is. We have to have control, leverage. We're going to talk about different places where we can begin to invest today. We're going to cover a little bit about technology, artificial intelligence, and all the tools that we have available to build true wealth. Remember, it's all about freedom. That's what true wealth is all about. It's about having that total freedom and the ability to be able to do whatever we want because we don't depend on anybody to make money. We have businesses and assets that we control with our companies that are producing passive income and capital gains income. Make sure you go to our website, get our ebooks. We have 3 right now: the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income money, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth. Look for a formula that works and stick to it until succeeding. Today's summary is going to be there are many proven formulas to creating wealth. Consistency, just like with anything, is crucial. Pick a formula that will take us to financial freedom and beyond. Lack of financial literacy is costly. It is time to become financially savvy because the outdated money rules are not longer effective. A lot of people are still playing with the old rules of money. That's why we created the ebook, The 10 New Rules of Money. We have to play the game of money with the wealthy mindset. We have to go into ourselves, deep into our core values, and update them with the new rules of money. Today, money is no longer real money, remember. Back in 1971, President Nixon separated the gold standard from the US dollar. From that point forward, money became monopoly money, fiat money, a currency, and just an idea backed up by confidence. So we have to literally understand that today the economy works with debt. Money is created with debt. And that's why here at Master Investor, we encourage all of our members to learn how to manage debt and stop being afraid of debt. And it's not about being debt free like many financial gurus out there talk about. They're giving nonsense to their followers. If we truly want to become wealthy, we need to understand debt and taxes because both are tools to become wealthy, tax-free, and basically for free because we use an OPM, other people's money. We're using the bank's money, right? We're going to use debt to invest because debt is money. So all debt is tax-free according to the law. Today's bonus, at the end of today's article, we will cover the 4 pillars or foundations of financial literacy. The idea or product that will make people wealthy excites the majority of new business owners. The problem is that a company's success is shaped before it even exists. We have to know the mission. We have to have our why big enough. We have to know why are we into the business to begin with. What type of business are we doing? What is our niche? What is our mission? There are 8 integrities that makes a successful business successful. If any of those 8 integrities are missing, the business will fail. A lot of people say, oh, it's just about the product. It's not just about the product. That's one of the 8 integrities. We have to decide the A integrities are mission, team, leadership, cash flow, communication, systems, legal, and product. And we have to have them well established for a business to succeed. And when we acquire a business, we need to figure out if those A integrities are in that business or that investment. And remember that business and investment both are team sport. We cannot do it by ourselves. Otherwise, we'll go against teams. That's why it's important to learn how to delegate, to get the right mentors, to invest in financial education, to listen to the right podcasts, to subscribe to the right channels. Today, we have access to information, but not all information is great. It is all about what we do when we have time to decide our activities. So your free time should be dedicated to building wealth. A lot of people put becoming wealthy as a last priority. They're too busy working for somebody else's business, somebody else's dreams, and they forget about their dreams, about becoming financially free and having success in regards to investing. And investing is all about understanding the basics of business, because ultimately all investments are made towards a business underneath, right? An investment always is attached to a business. We cannot do investing without business. That's why we talk about business and how to build businesses and how to launch our business and how to put it together and get all the systems in place and launch it and the marketing and all the aspects that creates a business. Once we master that, it is a lot easier to invest because we can read financial statements. We can tell the difference between an asset and liability. We talked about that on yesterday's or our last live stream. We cover the difference between the wealthy and the poor. And more than that, we cover many things. How to get wealthy in down markets, that's what we cover. So once we have the A integrities on our business, we have the mission. We have to decide before we start the business. What is our business about? What is the mission of the business? Write it down. It has to be clear. It needs to convey the message to the people, to our audience, to our niche. And hopefully we're picking the right product, because we want to have a product that we can expand, that we can sell worldwide fast. Today, we can put the product in front of the masses in seconds, literally, without exaggerating. We can put a product in front of the entire world with one click, and even the ad is done through artificial intelligence. So all we need to become great is to manage systems, manage debt, understand the new rules of money, and put systems in place to work for us. It's all about doing less and making more. That's what we're doing here at Master Investor. We're mastering the ability to raise capital, to read financial statements, to actively invest, to build success when it comes to our businesses. A lot of businesses never make it after 5 years. They fail because they lack one of the A integrities, one or more of the A integrities that we mentioned. Here at Master Investor, we define investing as having a winning business plan with a lucrative exit strategy. Investing is only investing when it is done with a plan. Building wealth can be mechanical, boring, and dull. We must be prepared to embark in a journey that many don't make it due to the courage, strength, and leadership that is needed to succeed at building true wealth. A lot of investors drive through the country like a family. Suddenly, a number of big deer with enormous horns arrive on the road in front of them. "Look at the big bucks," exclaims the driver, who is typically the male household member. The bucks automatically run off the road and onto the field that runs alongside it. The driver starts pursuing the huge dollars across the farm and into the trees after veering the vehicle off the road. It is a rocky and tough ride. The driver is being yelled upon to stop by the family. The vehicle abruptly crosses a stream embankment and plunges into the river below. The story's lesson is that when we start pursuing the huge money instead of sticking to our straightforward plan, this is what occurs. A lot of people like to follow the shiny things and they don't focus on what they need to be focusing on. They stop doing what was supposed to be working for them to go chase something else that is not going to work for them because it's a shiny object. It's a shiny thing that is only shiny. There's no value behind it. And there's a lot of shiny things in the world today, more with the access of information that we all have. Being able to access the entire world with our fingertips is a powerful tool, but it can literally make people poor or it can make people wealthier. We have to use information to our advantage. We have to learn how to manipulate information to our benefit, to be able to leverage ourselves to the next echelon when it comes to our expectations about life, what we want out of life, what is our goal in the next 6 months, where do we want to be in the next week and the next 3 weeks, what type of income do we want to be making. And it starts with a plan. It starts with small steps. What is the product that we want to bring to the marketplace? How are we going to start multiplying our money? How are we going to raise capital? It's all about asking the right questions. Here at Master Investor, we also talk about removing negative words out of our vocabulary, such as can't, right? When you put can't in front of any word, it's not really good. It's negative and it stops you from really accessing the information that is out there and attracting it into us, because success is something that we attract, not something that we pursue. We are attracted by the people we are becoming throughout the journey. So what do we do today in regards to our finances? What type of problems are we deciding to solve in the world? Because every successful person is looking to solve a problem that we're passionate about. So it's all about having a plan in front of us that has an exit strategy that is lucrative. For every dollar that we ever touch, we're supposed to know exactly where we're going to put that dollar to work. And if we want to get a liability or something of luxury that we want to have, or maybe a vacation, focus on building an asset first that will eventually pay for that liability's cost. That way it's free. We recoup the capital back that we invested. So now we have an asset or a freedom unit that is free, right? It's literally giving us money for free, money for nothing, because we recoup the entire capital back. And then that revenue is used to pay for the liability that we want to have. And we can have that liability as long as we want, because we have an asset that is paying for that. We're not paying for it. The asset is working hard for us. And remember, there are 5 different asset classes that exist. Business is one. Real estate is the second one. Third, we have crypto. Number 4, paper assets. And number 5, commodities. They all require financial education. Essentially want to start investing in a business or building a business so that we can literally use that revenue to buy other investments. And that's the key to building true wealth. Okay, is to actually build a business and a brand that brings in cash flow so that we can use that cash flow to buy real estate, right? To acquire assets that are producing cash flow, bigger assets, and using debt and our money that we're getting from our assets combined is the holy grail. Is combining debt with the capital and the passive income that we have so that we can build tax-free wealth. Many people struggle in silence and alone when it comes to money. Their parents probably followed suit. As our strategy develops, we will start to get to know the new team members who will help us realize our financial goals. Our financial team may consist of the following individuals: banker, accountant, lawyers, brokers, bookkeepers, insurance agent, board of directors, and successful mentors. We might wish to regularly schedule lunch meetings with each of these individuals. When we accomplish that and we learn the most about investment, business, and how to get really wealthy at these gatherings. Because team members are similar to business partners in many respects, keep in mind that finding a team member is similar to finding a business partner. We have to do due diligence. We have to know about them a little bit, about their social life, about their lifestyle. We want to know their mindset, how they think about money, right? Are they speaking the right lingo? And it's not about doing what they're telling us to do. We're going to listen to the facts. And if they have any opinions, we might listen to it, but we're not going to act on opinions. We're going to act on facts, and we're going to make our decision based on facts. Return on investment is supposed to be measured with facts, not opinions. So make sure that when we go into any investment deal, we know exactly our exit strategy because we have the facts down. We went through the entire due diligence. We read the financial statements. We know the numbers of the business, right? If that's what we're going to acquire, if it's an existing business, or if it's in a company that we're going to invest in, what is the company about? Everything needs to be understood, and we need to know exactly when we're going to get our money back. Investing is not about guessing. In fact, it's the very opposite. It's about knowing exactly when are we going to get our money back and how much am I going to keep getting after that. Because we're building passive income. Remember, two types of income that comes from investing, and there are three types of income total that we can build as an individual. The first type of income is earned income or ordinary income. And majority of people work for this income, which is when they have a job and they exchange time for money. They're selling their time for money. And that type of income is taxed at the highest bracket. And the rules and laws do not benefit the employee and self-employed. The rules and laws benefit the business owner and inside investor, the people who operate on the right side of the cash flow circle. Remember, there are 4 players in the cash flow circle. We have the employee, self-employed, business owner, and inside investor. And that's what the world is composed of. Literally, 4 types of people. So we have to choose, what do we want to be? A person can be all the 4 types successfully. But the question is, what do we truly want out of life? Do we want to create something that leaves a positive mark on the world? Do we want to leave a legacy? Or do a person just want to work at a company for the rest of their life and create a family and live just comfortable? Some people just want that, and that is okay. We need great employees in our companies too. However, when we build our businesses, at least for the new generations, we want to have businesses that can promote success within our company as well, within our members, within our staff. In other words, make sure that we create a win-win compensation plan for our staff members where they can grow without a limit. That way they can go home and still think about how to improve the bottom line, how to bring new ideas to the business so that it can grow. And that's how we get to keep employees forever in our businesses, working hard for us, ultimately helping us grow our businesses. We want to have great people and we want to compensate them well. We want to create a win-win partnership with everybody on our team, including our employees. They collaborate with us to take care of our life's most crucial business. We have to mind our own business if we want to be wealthy, whether we work for ourselves or for someone else. The strategy that suits us the most will gradually emerge as our own business. We have to mind our own business to become wealthy. We want to make sure that we focus on what matters when it comes to building true wealth. And what matters is our own business, because remember, we want to use that revenue to pay for all of our expenses, living expenses, and also anything that we want to acquire for the future. So we want to use our businesses to not only purchase our investments, future investments, but also purchase anything that we want for our life. We want to use passive income to pay for everything that we ever want. And that's how we obtain everything for free. We'll never have to pay for anything. Everything will be tax-free legally. It's all about learning how to minimize taxes all the way to zero, because being a true capitalist, that's the highest level of an investor, is being a capitalist. There are 5 levels of an investor in 5 different categories. The highest level of an investor is a capitalist. And a capitalist understands how to put a deal together, how to raise capital, how to read financial statements, how to create jobs. And it starts with one small idea that turns into a real business that has intrinsic value and business integrity. Intrinsic value means that we're protecting what we're doing for the world with legalities. We have a patent, we have the logo register, we have trademark, we have the legalities in order. That's why one of the A integrities of a successful business is the legal aspect. We don't want to build something that doesn't have longevity or doesn't withstand obstacles that will come our way when we start a business. We have to have a solid foundation so that nothing can ruin that business. Legalities must be in place from the beginning, and it's a good investment to make on our tax attorney, on our corporate attorney, and having the right group of people, the right professionals helping us develop our strategies in businesses. We will therefore have a decent chance of achieving all of our goals in life if we take our time and continue to move forward one step at a time. Personal financial statement, the 8 essential words for true wealth. We have income, expenses, assets, liabilities, cash flow, and then we have the buying power, credit, net. Mastering our personal financial statement could be the most important thing we can do to create true wealth and total freedom. As we can see, this is a personal financial statement that we have on our screen here. And the personal financial statement is very important. It's the tool that we want to look at every day. It's something that will tell us where we are financially today and how we can improve our assets column so that we can create more passive income into our income column. And that income will be used to pay for our liabilities and expenses. And a lot of our expenses will be investments that we're making constantly. So we want to use the revenue that is coming in from the assets column into our income column to be invested into new assets in different asset classes, because that's how we diversify among the 5 different asset classes, not just one asset class. We're not just going to do paper assets. We're going to do business, real estate, crypto, paper assets, and commodities. People that don't take their time to figure out their financial statement will not know how to thrive in the world we are living in today that operates with debt. Yes, a world where money is no longer real money, but a full currency. That means that we can do and operate just like the government does when it comes to investing. The government literally prints debt daily to invest in our economy. We are over $31 trillion in national debt, and that is not going to stop. It may slow down, but inflation will be part of the new economy forever. The solution is to pick an investment formula that works today and execute the plan. We have to use inflation to our advantage. Inflation is a good sign for us because as a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, we have the education to take advantage of inflation, because what inflation means is that the government continues to print more money in the form of debt. And so the debt rises, creates more inflation. The dollar loses its value because there's more being printed every day. So it loses value because there's more of it in the world, into the economy, whether it's physically or digitally. Today, a lot of it is digitally. There's a portion that is being printed physically, but everything is going digital. So in the future, all the currency will be digital. We won't have paper money. Okay, but just having paper money doesn't mean that is real money. It's just paper money. It's monopoly money. After 1971, because President Nixon separated the gold standard from the US dollar. And so from that point forward, money became debt. So when the economy crashes, the government prints even more money to help improve the economy, to inject money into the economy. And so the dollar loses value, goes back to its intrinsic value, which is zero. All the currencies in history has gone back to its intrinsic value, which is zero. And that means that it takes more money to purchase something that would used to take less money to purchase. So people that work for money will struggle in the future because of inflation, because they have to work extra hard to buy for the same thing that they used to buy with more or with less money than they do now. So now they have to put in the extra hours, or they have to find a new job that pays them more money. And they end up jumping from one job to another job that they don't really like or enjoy. They're doing it for the money. So something that we should all master is, as we ever, if you're young and you're taking on a job, make sure you're doing it because you want to learn about that field. Don't do it for the money. Now, we have to pay our bills, but it's important that we put our money into our financial education, because without financial education, without putting the time to understand how to do business, a person will not come out of the rat race and will not be able to build financial freedom. So we need to invest in our financial education, self-development, and understand how to become a better leader by taking action every single day, by having a plan that is catered to have goals completed by the end of the day, goals that are aligned with our finances. So where we are financially today, how are we going to improve? How are we going to acquire the next asset? How are we going to build passive income? A lot of people can only make money by working hard. We have to figure out how to make money while we're asleep. And we do that through systems. The most important words of financial statements are: number 1, income column; 2, expenses column; number 3, assets column; number 4, liabilities column. We have cash flow, and then buying power, credit, and net. Core financial priorities: to build wealth, we must learn to prioritize the right choices. We have 3 options for financial core values that we can organize in a list. The following is how most people choose to be. Number 1, they choose to be secure. Number 2, comfortable. And number 3, wealthy. However, that is the main reason why majority of people in the world never gets to experience financial freedom and true wealth, because they choose to be safe, comfortable, and then they think about becoming wealthy last. And then they run out of time because they are too tired by the end of the day, because they already worked 12-hour shift. They drove an hour to their job, hour back to their house. They have to take care of their kids. They have to do lunch for the next day. They have to do laundry. They have to do everything, because a lot of poor people, or the middle, and I should say employees and self-employees. There are 2 types of mindset when it comes to money: poor and wealthy. That's how we divide it here. And there are 4 players in the game of money: employee, self-employee, business owner, and inside investor. Here at Master Investor, we focus to master our lives on the right side of the cash flow circle, which is as a business owner and inside investor. We build businesses, we acquire businesses, and then we invest money into different asset classes. And we do that ourselves. We don't give our money to anybody to invest it for us. We don't invest in fake assets. We actively take an action with a plan that has an exit strategy that is lucrative, and that it creates a win-win partnership for everybody involved. We have to be transparent when it comes to business, because our reputation is everything. When we study the wealthy, we can see a huge difference in the way we prioritize that list of financial core values. The following is how the wealthy have this list. Number 1, we choose to be wealthy. So whatever it takes on a day-to-day basis, we do it to become wealthy. So rule number 1 in our community here at Master Investor is that we work to build passive income and multiply money through sound investing. Number 2 value. So we become wealthy, right? That's our priority. Number 2, comfortable. And number 3, secure. So the poor and middle class have secure first, being secure, and then they have comfortable second, and number three, they have wealthy. The wealthy, we have number one as being wealthy, number two, comfortable, number three, secure. There's a big difference, right? And so they're looking for security, and here, Master Investor, and whoever wants to have financial freedom is looking for becoming wealthy. And we use every single minute of our lives to figure out the asset that's going to get us to financial freedom, which is where we at the point where we don't have to pay for any of our bills. We have a business, or we have several businesses or different assets that are pumping in passive income into our pocket whenever we're not working, because those businesses are working for us. We successfully are selling something on autopilot that is valuable to the marketplace, and we getting that cash flow coming in, and we're using that money to pay for all of our living expenses. And that's when we reach financial freedom. And then we can start building true wealth. We start acquiring more assets or freedom units, right? Because ultimately, they're giving us freedom. The more cash flow we have or passive income, the more freedom we have. And that's how true wealth is measured, is by the time that we have without working, and how long can we go without shrinking our lifestyle. And in fact, we can expand, because here at Master Investor, we're always living above our means. We're always extending and expanding our horizons when it comes to business. We need to understand how to network, how to bring value to other people's lives, how to become a better leader by reading more. Exactly what we're doing, listening to a business podcast like this that can literally change our mindset. It only takes one sentence to change our lives. We're always one person away to change our lives. So this is an amazing time to be living in. Take advantage of it. Have a plan. Don't waste any of our days. Being alive and healthy is already a great step towards building true wealth. Every day counts. While everybody's partying or distracted, we're focusing on our finances. We're focusing on the most important element of life, money. Once we master money and we invest in the right things and we nurture ourselves, we don't let any negativity or any toxic come our way. It's not about running away from it. It's about confronting, but having boundaries that protects us ultimately, right? To keep us going to the next level. But the more we nurture ourselves by studying the right things, by listening to the right things, by eating the right things, then we're going to have more clarity. We can execute much better. And we can also get those downloads and the visions that are given to us by our Creator. When we spend time alone, we can come up with great inventions, and we have to write them down, and we have to create a plan, because investing is having a plan. When we prioritize becoming wealthy as number one, then we will make different decisions when it comes to our life and how we approach money. Everything changes just with that small change of our list of priority. The wealthy mindset understands the importance of focusing on the assets column and not just the incomes column. The poor mindset is always looking to feel secure in life, because that is the way they were taught to be, to search for security first, which is the opposite of freedom. First, we need to focus on freedom and not being secure. By simply acquiring cash flow and assets, then once we successfully reach financial freedom, then we can have financial security. The goal is to create a winning business plan with a lucrative exit strategy. Choosing what we want to be when we grow up and then continuing to grow up is the secret to staying young. Choosing to be a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor could be the best thing we can ever decide to be, because the reward of total freedom is exciting for anyone in today's world that is full of cool things. There's nothing more heartbreaking than witnessing individuals who have undervalued their own potential. They believe that they being economical, saving, and scrimping is a sign of financial intelligence. In actuality, it limits their financial options, and as they age, it becomes evident in their appearance and attitude towards life. The majority of individuals live their entire lives in a state of mental captivity around money. They start to resemble untamed lions imprisoned in tiny zoo cages. They merely walk back and forth, pondering the fate of their former existence. Knowing what is financially feasible for their lives is one of the most significant insights that people may gain by investing the time necessary to learn how to plan and plan to become wealthy. And that is invaluable. Additionally, the ongoing planning process keeps us youthful. People frequently ask us why we devote our time to expanding our businesses, making investments, going to business events, and increasing our passive income. We do it because it makes us feel wonderful to be able to make tax-free wealth and enjoy total freedom, at the same time helping other people's lives become better. Even though while we do brings in a lot of cash flow, we do it because it keeps us youthful and vibrant. When we can help others' lives become better through a product we control and launch to the marketplace is the best feeling ever. The importance or the important takeaway is that we must focus on our purpose in life and find a strong enough whys behind what we do. Because with the right reasons behind, then we can persevere through the tough times. Being a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor requires a lot of strength, courage, and leadership. All can be developed through devotion of learning about money and using proven formulas to create true wealth, which is tax-free. We stay younger at heart the more we learn about the potential of these amazing gifts called life. Individuals who exclusively make security-related plans or who predict that their income will decline after retirement are making plans for a life with less, not with no more. Given that our Creator designed an infinitely abundant life, why would we intend to restrict ourselves to having less? It's all about making more by doing less, by having more freedom, having assets to give us freedom because now we have passive income. We don't have to work for money, not for earned income. We are only working to build passive income, to grow that bottom line, that positive cash flow. And to make $1 million a year in positive cash flow, we need to make $2,700 per day in profits and passive income. That's about $83,000 per month. It's not that much when we have a product or many products being sold worldwide. And we have investments in different asset classes producing us passive income and making our money work hard. So as we get money, we have to have a plan for that new money to go work hard. And we need to use that money to raise capital because we're using debt. We're going to get into debt as much as possible. Get into debt, manage debt, learn how to utilize that debt to invest and acquire assets. It's all about learning how to create money with debt. That is how we get to infinite return on investment. That is the holy grail of investing, is when we have no money into the deal, but yeah, we still control the deal and we still collect passive income. That is a true business. It's a freedom unit. That's what we're looking forward to build. Every time we get into a business or an investment, we want to reach the point where we have recouped the entire capital back and we continue to control the asset and cash flow of the asset. And now we even getting more because we have no money of our own invested in the deal. So everything that is coming in is money for nothing. It's literally a printing money machine for us, a legal printing money machine. One product can go viral. One solution that we bring to the marketplace. So we have to be creative. We have to start thinking, write down the ideas. We have artificial intelligence. Use the tools that are available. Go to our website, get our ebooks, get our digital courses, subscribe to the channel. Take massive action. That's what it's all about. We have to execute. What is the idea that we're going to launch? It doesn't have to be perfect, but we need to get some sales coming in. We need to test it out into the marketplace. And then we need to upgrade it and tweak it. But we need to get started. We need to take the leap of faith. Don't sit on the benches because no one will come out of this life alive, right? Make sure that we are growing every day and acting on our dreams. Don't leave them for tomorrow. We start right now. Take action. Whatever it is that you want to do, break down small goals, put it on a list. Do the first one, go to the second one. Just like that. Do it every day. Make sure we have the right systems in place. So have big enough whys. Figure out why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we going to start this business? What is the really why are we doing this? It has to be very personal, and it's something that we need to ask ourselves and write down that big why, because we're going to need that. We must have a plan to become wealthy by putting becoming wealthy as number one priority in our lives. Then we look to be comfortable and secure. However, first we focus on becoming wealthy regardless of the obstacles we will encounter along our journey. We have to have courage, strength, and leadership, ways to invest in the new economy. The government encourage business owners and inside investors to invest in the economy in order to improve the environment, energy, housing, and jobs. Being mediocre when it comes to taxes doesn't pay. We must permanently reduce our taxes if we want to accumulate enormous fortune. Three strategies exist for making economic investments without becoming excessive taxpayers. To put it plainly, taxes are unfair to the typical taxpayer, to the employee and self-employed. However, who is the typical taxpayer? The typical taxpayer has a family, a job, and either rent or a mortgage. The taxpayer does not have financial education and lacks assets that produce passive income. The typical taxpayer knows very little or nothing about finances. All they know how to do is to work hard for earned income, which is taxed at the highest bracket. H&R Block and the mainstream media are the source of counsel for the typical taxpayer. The only tax benefits accessible to the typical taxpayer are charitable contributions, property taxes, and personal exemptions and itemized deductions. Of course, they can also delay some of their taxes onto retirement by setting up their fake assets, such as 401k or IRA in the United States or in RRSP in Canada. All of these are fake assets because they don't put any money in our pocket right now. An asset must put money into our pocket whenever we're not working right now, not in 10 years from now, not in 20 years from now. And it doesn't really count when it's going up in value and it's only on paper showing. We want to have that cash flow coming in. If we're not touching the cash flow, then we shouldn't call it an asset. It's not an asset until it puts money into our pocket. And we're focusing on building assets. But when people set up their fake assets and they put money into a 401k for 20-some years, all that is putting money into a 401k doesn't require any financial intelligence. Those vehicles were created for the people that lack financial education, for the employees and self-employees, people that don't have time to study financial education, people that invest their time working for somebody else's business and dreams and solving their financial problems. But they forget about their own financial problems. When they get home, they're already too tired. They already gave 12 hours to somebody else's life. Now, we want to have great employees. So if you like to do what you're doing as an employee, keep doing that if that's what you love to do. But we always encourage to start a side hustle, because at some point that person maybe doesn't want to continue working there anymore, wants to do something else. And we want to make sure that we have replacement for that income, and we want to replace it with passive income. So learn how to turn your earned income into passive income. Rule number one in our community here at Master Investor is that we work to build passive income and multiply money through sound investing. Sometimes we will get capital gains income, but that's not our main focus. We want to get passive income. We want to acquire assets that produce passive income in any type of economy. If the economy is going great, we're making tons of money. If the economy is crashing, we even making more money because people are panicking and we have more opportunities laying everywhere. The banks are giving more loans at lower interest rates. It's easier for us to raise money. And who cares about the interest rates anyway? And inflation, because we're building passive income and we're raising capital. And as long as the numbers work at the end of the deal, who cares about the interest rate? Because that money is going to be paid and the interest rates is going to be paid with the revenue of the business. So as long as the debt and the loan that we're using is going to make us money too, then it's a good deal. That's what we want to focus on. Become an above average taxpayer rather than an average one. This country and the capitalist system is built to pay zero in taxes legally because it benefits the business owner, wealth entrepreneur, and inside investor. We start by looking for problems that we wish to solve with a valuable product. They start by increasing our economic contribution, which is what the government pays us for. 3 strategies to invest in the economy and avoid being mediocre are as follows. Number 1, real estate. One investment that is tax advantages is real estate. The government of every nation will compensate us for our real estate investment. This is how it operates. Using debt and taxes are the 2 main strategies for real estate investing success and true wealth. Let's say we make the decision to buy an investment property in country X. We discover $1 million property with $80,000 in net operating income. We borrow as much as we can from a bank instead of paying cash with our own funds. Consider the following scenario. The bank lends us 80% of the property's cost and we provide 20% of our own funds as a down payment. The bank gives us an interest-only loan with a 4% interest rate. The property's net cash flow is $48,000. So $80,000 minus 4% times $800,000. The government is prepared to reimburse us for our investment. For the first few years, the depreciation deduction on $1 million home should be around $100,000 annually. Consequently, we'll incur a loss of $52,000. For tax purposes, $48,000 and less or minus $100,000 depreciation, even if the cash flow and genuine net profit are $48,000, as long as we are professional investor, we can use the $52,000 loss to offset other income such as business or investment income, in addition to not having to pay taxes on our $48,000 in cash flow, which is tax-free income because it's passive income. A $52,000 loss in the 40% tax bracket translates into $20,800 less in taxes on our investment in business income. $52,000 times 40%, we are receiving more than $20,000 from the government to invest in real estate. Number 2, gas and oil. In an effort to lessen its reliance on foreign oil, the U.S. has long maintained an energy strategy that encourages oil and gas production within its borders by offering substantial tax breaks to investors in domestic U.S.-based oil and gas drilling operations. The government has implemented this through the tax code. One of the best tax shelters in the United States is oil and gas. Do we recall the book's earlier explanation of passive income and passive losses? The only investment that is exempt from these regulations is oil and gas. We can write off a significant portion of our investment in the first year when we invest directly in an oil and gas drilling project in the United States. Imagine spending $200,000 on an oil and gas drilling project rather than real estate venture. up to 80% of our first investment, or 160,000, can be written off against our other business pay or investment income in the first year. The government will pay us 64,000, 160,000 times 40% for the investment if we were in a 40% tax bracket. By providing 32% of the project's funding, the government has essentially agreed to be our partner in the drilling effort. Over the next few years, the remaining 20% can be written off, giving us a 200,000 deduction and a possible 80,000 tax benefit. Furthermore, not all of the money we earn from the project is taxed by the U.S. government because of the 50% deduction for depletion. Only 85% of the project's income is subject to taxes. Just 850 of our 1,000 in project income is subject to taxes. Professional tip: the only investment in which we are exempt from the regulations limiting losses from passive investments is oil and gas. 3. Agriculture. The majority of nations offer substantial tax benefits to individuals who own agricultural enterprises. The explanation is straightforward. The government encourages us to invest in regional agriculture because it wants the economy to expand. The two most significant tax benefits for agriculture are the ability to trade cattle without paying taxes and the tax deduction for expenses related to agriculture companies. Agriculture is also favored by the depreciation rules. We could be able to deduct farm equipment more quickly than other types of equipment, depending on the country. Additionally, some of the money we make from our farming operations could not be taxable, or if we make it through a cooperative, it might be taxable later. Additionally, farms typically receive preferential treatment when it comes to estate taxes. When we inherit a farm, we might be able to pay less in state taxes or spread out the payments over a number of years. In order to keep farms and ranches operating, the government offers tax exceptions that spare us from having to sell our property in order to pay taxes. Strong tax benefits for agriculture are particularly available in developing nations. For instance, Puerto Rico offers a 50% tax credit for investments in agricultural enterprises, along with a 100% exemption from property taxes, equipment taxes, municipal taxes, and stamp duties. For a maximum of 9 years, Ethiopia completely exempts agricultural enterprises from income taxes. Incentives are not limited to undeveloped nations. The expenses of operating a farm are fully deductible in the United States and the majority of other nations. The converse is true in agriculture, where most enterprises must include production costs and inventory and cannot deduct them onto the item is sold. In the year of purchase, the cost of seeds, feed, and other farm or ranch operational expenses that go into production, the food and livestock are deductible. Therefore, we can still deduct the cost of producing the cattle and hay in the year that we spend the money, even if we don't sell them for a number of years. The government has made an investment in our farm. Today's bonus: what are the 4 pillars of wealth? The fundamentals of financial literacy. Lastly, wealthy parents make sure their families understand the 4 pillars of financial literacy. When it comes to money, this is by far the most significant lesson that we should all learn, including future generations. If we internalize these principles and spend our life learning more and more about them, we will position ourselves and our team for financial success. These are the 4 pillars of financial literacy. Number one, being aware of the distinction between a liability and asset. And we define an asset as a business or an investment that produces passive income, of course, without us working. It's not an asset if it requires us to be there to make the money. Knowing the difference between an asset and liability will come in handy. Number two, capital gains versus positive cash flow. We need to know before we invest, are we getting passive income or are we getting capital gains income? Right? It's either positive cash flow or capital gains income. Those are the two types of income that we can get from investing. And positive cash flow, also known as passive income, is taxed at the lowest bracket. And that's what we want to focus on, because that's rule number one in our community here at Master Investor, is that we focus and we work to build passive income and make money multiplied through sound investing. Number three, getting wealthy is done by paying zero in taxes legally and managing on good debt. And number four, making our own financial choices and decisions when it comes to investing. We listen to the facts and we measure the return on investment with facts, and we go to that decision ourselves. We get all the information, we do our due diligence, and then we execute, because we are the chairman of our companies. We are not the CEOs, we're not the presidents, we're not employees of our companies. We work on our companies, not in our companies. Start investing in high quality financial education by reading our financial ebooks. We have 3 right now. What are the 10 new rules of money? How to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchain, the rise of legitimate reserve digital currencies and assets. Lucrative resources and tools on our newsletter. Go to our website, follow us on Instagram, follow us on our podcast, newsletter, subscribe to it, so that we can have access to our articles as we publish them every week. Follow us on TikTok, any other social media platform. Make sure to find us. We're pretty much everywhere. Look for the logo. Go to our Facebook page, Discord account. We cover today how to find a formula to be wealthy. Find a formula that best suits us, right? Do you want to start business? Do you want to get into real estate? Do you want to go into oil? Do you want to go into commodities? What do we want to do? There are 5 different asset classes. We suggest that we start with a business, because we can start selling something on autopilot very quickly within 24 hours. We don't even need to create the product ourselves. We can use other people's products. And we can use debt to invest. We can use other people's money legally. If we have credit cards, if we have money, we can create a plan, and we have to make sure that the interest will be paid by the revenue of the business and the investment that we made. So everything can be calculated. So investing in business, both are team sports, and they require a true leader behind it. So what makes business and investing risky is the person behind the investment and the business operation. So the question is, are we good leaders? Are we above average business owners? We need to be extraordinary. We don't need to be average investors at all. Here at Master Investor, we will develop true leaders, inside investors, and wealthy entrepreneurs. Master Investor's mission is to be the global authentic brand of money, business, and investing that elevates the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple with lucrative opportunities to build passive income, win-win partnerships, and true wealth. Let us know what you learned today. Remember the essential words for true wealth, which are found in our financial statement. What we're seeing here on our diagram on the screen is a personal financial statement. We have the income statement, the balance sheet. We have the income column, the expenses column, the assets column, the liabilities column. We have the cash flow, the buying power, the credit column, and the net column. Okay. Make sure to visit our website, get our digital courses, and begin to execute a plan. As we add more assets into each digital course, whatever digital course we get into, thereafter, any other asset that we add, we can access it for no additional cost, regardless of the price of that course going up. Because in a year, 5 years from now, each course will go up in price because we are adding more assets to emphasize more on the digital book that we have added on each course. Every digital course that we have has an ebook, has a book with it. And we're going to emphasize with wealthy entrepreneurs. We're going to have legends. We're going to have exclusive interviews catered to help us understand more about the topic of that digital course. So for example, this one, how to build cash flow with the internet. We get the ebook, which has 49 chapters. We get a personal financial statement that we need to download into Excel. We also have a mutual agreement for finder's fees. We have different tools that will be catered to build passive income, because the name of this course is how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on. Okay, make sure you go to our website, get our ebooks, because they are one of a kind. We want to make sure that we're building true wealth with the right people. Okay, let me show you exactly how the ebook looks. Once you log in into your back office, when you purchase the digital course from our website, this is how the ebook looks. You can access it on any smart device. We can download the copy into our hard drive as well to keep it forever. And as we update any of the assets within this digital course, we will always get that updated version. Okay, but here it is. It's all available right now. This is a total guide on how to build true wealth. Make sure to get it, learn about the cash flow system, and start building passive income. Think about making hundreds of dollars while we're sleeping, waking up to sales on autopilot. That's what this is all about. But we need to have a product, and we need to have a mission. We need to have systems in place. We need to get unlimited leads into our sales pages. We need to understand how to build clientele that is willing to do business with us because they like us, know us, and trust us. We're doing exactly what a capitalist should do, which is putting businesses together, building businesses and acquiring businesses where people are desperate to become part of. So learn about the different categories, the different levels, learn about the cash flow circle, the cash flow triangle. Everything is here on this ebook. Is definitely a volume that we should all read and act on, okay? Because it's going to change our mindset, our core values. It's going to teach us about the history of money. Here's a cash flow circle. As you can see, on the left side, we have the employee, we have the self-employed. On the right side of the cash flow circle, we have the business owner and inside investor. Wealth is built on the right side of the cash flow circle. Let us know if you have any questions about today's article on how to find a formula to be wealthy. Thank you for having me once again. I'm pleased to be here talking about money, business, and investing, bringing you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. We will talk next time. Stay